हाय एवरीवन, सो आई होप आप सभी का पेपर अच्छा गया होगा एंड यूपीएससी जैसा कि एक्सपेक्टेड था पेपर वाज कम्प्लीटली अनप्रेडिक्टेबल एंड मॉडरेट टू हाई। अगर रेटिंग आप करने को कहो कि हाउ पेपर वाज, सो आई वुड रेट इट मॉडरेट टू हाई। ऑल्दो आई एम येट टू गो थ्रू ऑल द क्वेश्चंस, बट साइंस एंड टेक और इन्वायरमेंट और थोड़ा एग्रीकल्चर टाइप का ओरिएंटेशन था, तो वो सब देखते हुए मतलब ऐसा लगा कि कहीं ना कहीं पेपर वाज मॉडरेट टू हाई। इट कैन नॉट बी सेड इजी, इट कैन नॉट बी इवन सेड मॉडरेट, इट वाज मॉडरेट टू हाई. So cut off, I am no way, I am not, because I am yet to go through and I do not have expertise in few subjects, so I did not. But yes, means broadly speaking, it was moderate to high. Cut off may be expected to lower down further than the previous year, but again we'll have to sit. So I am not making any kind of prognosis in that direction कि कट ऑफ क्या होगा. बस इतना आपको थोड़ा सा सोलाइस दे देता हूँ कि हाँ, सबका पेपर कहीं ना कहीं मोस्ट ऑफ जो मेरा इंटरेक्शन जो एक्सपीरियंस रहा है, मैंने कुछ जो एस्पिरेंट्स से बात की है, तो जो एक्सपीरियंस, उस एक्सपीरियंस के बेसिस पे आई कैन से कि मॉडरेट टू हाई रहा है. अब काफ़ी रिक्वेस्ट आ रही थी चैट बॉक्स में कि वीडियो तो पॉलिटिक्स सेक्शन पे मैं देख रहा हूँ कि कौन कौन से क्वेश्चन, कितने क्वेश्चंस आए थे, और पॉलिटिक्स सेक्शंस के क्वेश्चंस को मैं थोड़ा सा एनालाइज करता हूँ. तो ये था पहला, ये बी सेट है आई गेस, राइट. और इसका जो पहला क्वेश्चन है, अ पार्लियामेंट्री सिस्टम ऑफ गवर्नमेंट इज वन इन विच first, let us see first, all political parties in the parliament are represented in the government. Is it necessary, is it a precondition? No, it can't be a precondition. It may be that at times maybe कि कांग्रेस भी आपकी जो है जीरो पे चले जाए, and still our country may be called parliament or will be called parliamentary system, right? So it can't be a precondition. Second, the government is responsible to the parliament, yes, and can be removed by it, right? So to some extent it appears right, but hold it, right? We will have to read these options as well, and this will be your approach कि अगर कोई बीच में ही पहला सेंटेंस ही अगर और पहला स्टेटमेंट ही अगर आपको लगता है कि ये सही है, hold it, right? Go through. It's not कि भाई पहला या दूसरा आपको लगा कि सही है, you will not read other statement. Most of the time क्या होता है, most appropriate, there may be 2 or 3 questions or statement that may seem like correct, right? So in that situation make sure कि आप सारे के सारे statements पढ़ें. और ये मैसेज जो है उनके लिए नहीं है जिन्होंने अटेम्प्ट किया है पेपर. This message is only for those students who are yet to, who are to attempt this exam next year or next to next year, right? So hold it, right? I'm not making it correct or I'm not even marking it wrong. Then the government is elected by the people. Yes, government is elected by the people and can be removed by them. No, in parliamentary systems like ours, right, we do elect the government, but we cannot remove them. That feature our parliamentary system or the parliamentary system of the world across, right, that does not give, except in that recall feature, right, which is available in only few democracy, not only few democracy, only in Switzerland that you do have, right, this recall feature. And that recall feature is also not for whole of the government, you will notice, right? It is only for the individual members of parliament or individual members of legislative assembly, right? And even that recall feature our parliamentary system has not implemented. So this we can straight away, half of the statement is true, the government is elected by the people and can be removed. No, it cannot be removed. So this statement also stands wrong. Let us move to the fourth statement. The government is chosen by the parliament. Government is chosen by the parliament. No, not parliament. To some extent it would have been correct if we would have said that the government is chosen by legislatures, right? So yes, that may have been correct, but cannot removed by it before completion of a fixed term. Parliament can remove, right? You have this Lok Sabha, a part of parliament constitute all these Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So a part of parliament, that is, or one house of the parliament, that is Lok Sabha, does have power. If they are not happy with the performance of the government, right, they can remove it. So half of the statement again here as well, half of the statement is incorrect. Not half, full of the whole of the statement here is incorrect. Government is not chosen by the parliament, but government is chosen by the legislature, and legislature ultimately is chosen by the people. So this also stands incorrect, this also stands incorrect, and this also stands. So in that case B was the only most probable, or B is the only right answer. So 21 B. Let us move to the, so 21 is B. Let us move through the next thing. Next is, which part of the Constitution of India declares ideals of the welfare state? So this we already have studied, right? Although we will be testing it, but why all these options are incorrect. But this question already means we know that ideals of welfare state of Indian in Indian Constitution has been defined as no other place than the Part 4 of Indian Constitution, that is directive principles of the state policy. In 7th schedule, why 7th schedule? Because 7th schedule talks about distribution of legislative powers between union and state, right? So 7th schedule preamble broad philosophy constitution की define करती है rather than ideals of welfare. Means some people may have confusion that it may be preamble as well, it may be directive principles of the state policy. Certainly fundamental rights, certainly outrightly you can reject it because it is going to talk about rights and not the ideals of the welfare. So there may be some amount of confusion if you have not read polity clearly or in deepest term. Then yes, to some student, right, it may be a 50-50 chance, right, but principle principles, this ideals of welfare state has been defined into means labor rights की बात करता है, maternity ladies right की मतलब maternity leaves वगैरह इन सब चीज की बात जो है डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ द स्टेट पॉलिसी में है, राइट, प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ काउज, मेल child animals, फिर intoxicant का, so all these things has already been talked into this part 4 of Indian Constitution, and that's why here again A happens to be your right answer. Whether A is the right answer, yes, A is the right answer. Then what about 23? So this is a lengthy question, and here we'll have to invest some amount of time. So here it says again, what is the directive word? Directive word is correct, right? So this is one thing again I'm pointing out, and this is not the message to those who have appeared, right? Because those people already does have experience. But I'm taking this class for those students who have not appeared, who have to appear, right? So that might be some time consuming. So here directive word is correct, right? So the first statement, let us see, the Constitution of India defines basic structure. So here only your mind should boggle, you should break your mind here only. The Constitution, does Constitution of India defines the basic structure? No sir, the basic structure is a concept that was evolved in Keshavananda Bharati case. Do you remember the Keshavananda Bharati case? So the first statement को आप यही mark कर सकते हो incorrect, right? The basic structure of Indian Constitution, what are the basic, we are not getting into the features of the basic structure of the Indian Constitution, but basic structure of the Indian Constitution, basic structure is a judicially evolved term. It is continuously evolving, right? It is not present into Indian Constitution. So this was the first statement is incorrect. Then the second statement, the Constitution of India provides for the judicial review. Same line, but the word is different. Judicial. Does the Constitution of India provides for judicial review? Yes, it does provide. अगर आप Article 13 का वीडियो देखोगे, you will find that yes, this judicial review has been implicitly mentioned into this Article 13 of Indian Constitution. What about the other? और ये नहीं होगा कि भाई first part अगर सही हो गया तो rest of part again you need to ignore. No, other parts as well. You to safeguard the citizens' liberty, yes, fundamental rights, and to preserve the ideals on which Constitution. What is the basis on? What is the very premise of having this judicial review? Judicial review is ultimately going to by judicial review. Part of this judicial review, judiciary has been equipped with this extraordinary power whereby any law that these legislatures are passing, right, those law will have to pass this filter of this judicial scrutiny, right? So judicial review वहाँ आपके काम आता है, and all those things that is mentioned here, that is civil liberties को protect करने के लिए या preserve constitution में जो ideals mentioned है उनको preserve करने के लिए, so this statement seems correct, and that's why I'll go with the correct, right? Correct, this one is correct and this is incorrect, so correct we have to go with, so B would be most probable answer, right? Not most probable, exact answer. So this was about the third question. What about the fourth question? So the fourth question here says that one common agreement between Gandhian and Marxism. So ये थोड़ी सी philosophy है, and it would be a kind of mixture of polity plus your society. That is GS2 एंड GS1 यहाँ आपको थोड़ा सा मिक्स करना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज गांधीयन फिलोसफी क्या है, मार्क्सिज्म क्या है, ये सोसाइटी का भी आपका पार्ट है, दैट इज फ्रॉम GS1 आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट, दैट इज फ्रॉम मीन्स पर्सपेक्टिव. सो द फाइनल गोल ऑफ अ स्टेटलेस सोसाइटी, सो यस दिस वाज द राइट आंसर. यू नीड नॉट क्लास स्ट्रगल को एलिमिनेट करना, नहीं. अबॉलिशन ऑफ प्राइवेट प्रॉपर्टी Marxism में हो सकता है, but Gandhi never talked about this abolition of the private property. Rather, to some extent, he favored this industrialist. Although he said that the soul of Indian thing lies in villages itself, right? But still, he favored industrialists at times as well. So he never talked about this abolition of private property. Then this is also wrong. So the most probable answer here again is A and nothing else. It is talking about the agreement, means commonalities, where the philosophy of Gandhiism and Marxism mixed each other, right? So it is talking about that common ground. So common ground was the final goal of a stateless society. So this was about the fourth. Let us see what was the answer. So fourth answer is A. Then what about the fifth answer? Fifth, in context of India, okay, which one of the following is characteristic appropriate for bureaucracy? Bureaucracy का सबसे appropriate characteristic क्या है? So an agency for widening the scope of parliamentary democracy. No, it can't be. Bureaucracy can never work to widen the roots of parliamentary democracy. So this is outrightly I'm rejecting. Agency for strengthening the structure of federalism. No, not appropriate, but hold it. An agency for facilitating political stability and economic growth. Yes, economic growth to some extent, yes, their expertise is needed, but facilitating political stability. No, political अगर continuity होती, then we could have thought of क्योंकि political at the time of emergency when you have this article 352 or 356 in a state that has been implemented, bureaucracy is often given job of handling the administration. Real power in times of emergency actually lies with the bureaucracy. So if instead of political stability, if it had been political continuity here, so to some extent yes it would have been considered, because पहले क्या होता है, पहले आपका कोई politician या political party एक government बनाती है, उसका अगर 356 अगर implement हो गया तो bureaucracy के हाथ में कहीं ना कहीं power आती है, right? Although it is president but actual power lies with the bureaucracy. And then again जब election होता है then कोई political party, so smooth transfer of power और political continuity को ensure कर सकता है. So 3 is also incorrect. And agency for the implementation of public policy. So if you remember when we were discussing this role of executive, LEZ we had described in salient feature of Indian constitution, LEZ, those 3 circles if you remember. So legislature, executive and judiciary we had defined, and while defining the job, right, this bureaucracy is nothing, bureaucracy is part of this executive, and their job is, once legislature has done their job, then the job of executive, that is bureaucracy and council of minister, is to implement whatever scheme or whatever things that has been designed by this legislature. The job of bureaucracy, you as IAS officer, right, it is, or SDM, it is job that whatever has been envisioned by legislature through the assembly or through the parliament, it is your job कि आप उसको implement करवाओ, right? So D is the most appropriate answer out of the given statements, right? So this was about 25th. Let us move to next, and that is 26th. So 26th, in India, legal service authority provide for, so this is one chapter that we had not done, that lower judiciary, right? I had left it for you to read. So although we'll be completing it, but this is something that we have. Let us read the statement. So legal service authority provide for free legal services to which of the following type of, because you do have this NALSA and SALSA that has been established, you already would be knowing, and if you do not know, we'll be taking a class on this because this is the one chapter that we had left. So NALSA and SALSA, and the job of this NALSA and SALSA is to support the weaker, to provide the legal assistance to the weaker section of the society. Now who are all these weaker section of the society? So you have this all senior citizen who are the weaker. I'm not looking into, I'm just giving a general idea, right? So all senior citizens are the weaker section of the society, members of the OBC, that is society, weaker section, transgenders are considered, can be considered as weaker section of the society, and the personal poor person can also be considered. So if you go by the logics, you would be marking 1 2 3 4, but 1 2 3 4 is not here, right? So your job is little easy. Now here you do have certain facts as well, और इस facts ने थोड़ा सा mind boggle किया होगा, right? So यहाँ देखो person को जो फाइनेंशियल स्टेटस है, सो ऑल दोज पीपल और ऑल दोज फैमिली विल बी गिवन लीगल असिस्टेंस फ्रीली इफ देयर फैमिली इनकम इज लेस देन 1 lakh, right? So here the first statement stands corrected. Out of all those people, this senior citizen has been given some concession. Senior citizen and transgenders has been given some concession. What concession they has been given? So these people has been given concession कि उनकी इनकम अगर 2 लाख तक भी है, 200K, 2 लाख तक, तो उनको कंसेशन मिलेगा. So this statement is correct. Person, this one, transgender, this one, this statement is also correct. But OBC के लिए कुछ mention नहीं है. 3 lakh, no, this is incorrect. And all senior, no, all, not all senior citizens. Senior citizen whose income is less than 2 lakh. So this also stands incorrect. This statement also stands incorrect. So 1 and 2 is the correct, and 1 and 2 you do have in A, right? So whosoever person's paper it is, he or she has marked it appropriately. So the answer of 39th would be A. That's the correct thing. Then 39th थोड़ा सा out of order था. 26th, let us look at. Now the preamble of the Constitution of India, here again conceptual clarity अगर आपको नहीं है, you won't be able to understand. Facts आप कितने भी remember कर लो, पूरा preamble आप याद कर लो, लेकिन अगर conceptual clarity आपको नहीं है, you won't be, let me guarantee you won't be able to. And that's why many people complain about those lengthy videos. But let me tell you again, UPSC has proven by जो भी क्वेश्चन साइंस एंड टेक में, एनवायरमेंट में, सब के सब अप्लाइड पार्ट से थे. तो अगर आपने पूरा शंकर IAS का खत्म कर दिया एनवायरमेंट में, पूरा रमेश सिंह खत्म कर दिया, मरनाल सर की इकोनॉमी खत्म कर दी, पॉलिटी की लक्ष्मीकांत पूरी कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. अगर देखो जो अप्रोच होना चाहिए, अप्रोच इन दिस एग्जाम इज गोइंग टू बी कि 6 days, इफ यू आर गिविंग 1 week, ऐसे नहीं चलेगा कि भाई 13 घंटे 14 घंटे आप पढ़ लेते हो, फिर 7 घंटे 8 घंटे सो लेते हो, फिर उठ के पढ़ लेते हो, फिर सो लेते हो, पढ़ते हो, सोते हो. दैट अप्रोच इज नॉट गोइंग टू वर्क, राइट? यू विल हैव टू 6 days यू स्टडी, देन 1 day अगर अपने माइंड को रिलैक्स करो. 6 दिनों में मैंने क्या किया, कितना मेरे अंदर एब्जॉर्ब हुआ, या फिर एक दिन में आप 2 घंटे अपने आप को, अपने माइंड को सिर्फ सेल्फ एनालिसिस के लिए दो कि पिछले 10 घंटे में जो मैंने किया उसका आउटपुट क्या आ रहा है. ठीक है, पैरामीटर्स पे अपने आप को उतारना सीखो। मेनी पीपल, अगेन आई विल से, कीप पॉइंटिंग अबाउट लॉन्ग वीडियो, लेट मी टेल यू, जब तक आप पॉलिटी कोई भी सब्जेक्ट पढ़ रहे हो, जब तक आप उसका एसेंस नहीं समझोगे ना, ये यूपीएससी का एग्जाम फर्स्ट टाइमर्स को बहुत मतलब फन्ने खा बने रहते हैं। जब वो सेकंड अटेम्प्ट एंड थर्ड अटेम्प्ट में जाते हैं तब जाकर उनको ये बात समझ में आती है कि यार ये सब चीजें नहीं करनी चाहिए। जो सजेशन जो पहले हमें दिए गए थे वो सजेशन से शायद फॉलो करते तो हमें सेकंड और ये थर्ड अटेम्प्ट में नहीं आना पड़ता। थर्ड अटेम्प्ट और फोर्थ अटेम्प्ट में वही लोग जाते हैं, मतलब मैं किसी को डिस्करेज नहीं कर रहा भाई, 3 साल इज अ एवरेज ईयर दैट एवरी एस्पिरेंट इज टेकिंग, ओनली दोज एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी जो कि पहले अटेम्प्ट में जिनका क्लियर हो जाता है, ठीक है। सो आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट, बट येट आई वुड से कि भाई आप थोड़ा सा मतलब अपना माइंड को जो है ना वो एनालिसिस करके पढ़ो रादर देन गेटिंग इनटू फैक्ट्स कंप्लीटली, ठीक है। आप रुको, पढ़ो, रुको, सोचो, फिर पढ़ो, रुको, सोचो, एब्जॉर्व करो एंड देन आगे बढ़ो। दैट शुड बी योर अप्रोच। और मैं क्यों कह रहा हूं ये मैं अभी प्रूव करूंगा आपको। द प्रीएम्बल ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया इज अ पार्ट ऑफ Indian Constitution. So first of all, let us decide whether preamble is a part of Indian Constitution or not. So बेरोबरी वाले केस में क्या बोला गया था? बेरोबरी में बोला गया preamble is not part of Indian Constitution. Then you have this famous case, Swanand Bharti case again. उन्होंने कहा कि नहीं, preamble is a part of Indian Constitution. And then finally LIC versus Union of India में भी बोला गया कि it is a part of Indian Constitution. And this slide you can find into the preamble section, into very last slide. Whatever we had discussed so far, except that NALSA and SALSA, except this question, I did not find any question जो कि हम लोगों ने किसी ना किसी वे में कैटर नहीं, मेरे पास टाइम नहीं था, अदरवाइज आई वुड हैव शोन स्लाइड्स एज वेल। एक क्वेश्चन की मैंने कॉपी रखी है जो कि मैंने 3 दिन पहले ही पूछा था, सेपरेशन ऑफ जुडिशरी and executive, right? Which exact article 50 we had talked about. So for others I have not taken the slides, but I can bet you all these things we have, this thing we had studied into the salient features of Indian Constitution. Yes, this thing we did not discuss, right? So these 2 questions we have not discussed, but all these things at one point of time this has been discussed clearly. यहाँ जुडिशियल रिव्यू जो है आर्टिकल 13 में से कैसे फ्लो करता है, आप आर्टिकल 13 का वीडियो देखो, राइट? सो यूपीएससी, माय पॉइंट इज नॉट अ 2020 एग्जाम, राइट? यू विल हैव टू प्ले इट लाइक अ टेस्ट मैच. Now coming to the question. So which question we were? So this question, preamble. So first of all we decided that yes, preamble is a part, because बेरोबरी में बोला कि नहीं, it is not a part of, but later on judiciary itself self-corrected themselves and said that no, this preamble is a part of Indian Constitution. So जहाँ भी not part है पहले तो आप उसको eliminate कर दो, it is not a part of Indian Constitution. So B stands eliminated. Then a part. So out of these 3 now you have to see. So a part of Indian Constitution, but it has no legal effect. So it has no it is not justiciable. तो पहले नजर में अगर आप देखो तो आपको लगेगा कि नहीं, this A is correct because it has been clearly said that this is not justiciable, right? This is preamble is not justiciable, like DPSP it is not fundamental right justiciable, but it is not justiciable. So if you go by the logic you will say yes, this stands corrected, but hold it. Again we'll study, this has already been eliminated, we'll study these 2 as well. Even if you find कि ये correct है, A is most appropriate, do not skip these things. Then see, a part of constitution and has same legal effect as any other. No, it does not have. If it is a same legal effect as any other, तो part 3 को if we see, part 3 is your fundamental right, and fundamental right is justiciable. So if I go by that logic, this preamble should also be justiciable. That is not so, right? So this is also incorrect. Now out of 2 you have to see. The 4th is a part of constitution, okay, but has no legal effect independently of other parts. So this is correct. Why this is correct? Let us see. See, whenever, if you have heard when we were studying this preamble, I had clearly told again कि जो भी केसेस या कोर्ट केसेस होते हैं या कोर्ट कोई भी फैसला देती है वो प्रीएम्बल को लाइट में रख के देती है. Preamble का although it may not have an independent existence, but all the judgment that is delivered which does have some social background, any kind of cases which does have social or economic or any kind of implication over the masses, it has any kind of ramification. In those kind of cases you will notice that the judiciary keeps preamble in light and then it gives the judgment. So although it does not have any independent identity, but yet it does have some legal value. So D is most appropriate, a part of Indian Constitution but has no legal effect. Independently इसका कोई वो नहीं है, independently इसका कोई अपनी पहचान नहीं है, does not have any identity, but all the judgment that is delivered by judiciary which does have any kind of socio-economic impact, right, those judgments by judiciary will be taken in light of preamble. So here D is most appropriate. So whosoever paper it was, C is not a right answer. So D would be most appropriate. Next question. What is this next question? With reference to the provision contained in part 4, that is DPSP of the Constitution of India, which of the following are correct? So the directive word is correct. They shall be enforceable by the courts. No, this is not enforceable. We already know that a fundamental right, that is part 3 of Indian Constitution, is justiciable, enforceable. This part 4, right, that is the basic difference between part 3 and part 4. So this shall be enforceable by the court. No, they shall not be enforceable by the court. So completely opposite statement, right? So this is correct. And the principles laid down in this part are to influence the making of the laws of the state. Yes, this has been clearly spelled out into the part 4. Ki part 4 ka, although it does not have justiciability, but states should take care whenever they are designing any, whether state or union, whenever they are designing any kind of law, it should have that on stance of the DPSP. So second is correct and the third is also correct. So your answer is D. So whosoever again has marked it, he or she has marked it appropriately, correctly. So that is the answer. Let us see the 30th. The President of India can summon a session of the Parliament at such place as he thinks fit. Yes, correct. You have this Article 85, which clearly mentioned this, that it is incumbent on the President, wherever he or she would like to have the sessions of the Parliament, he or she may call it. So that statement is correct. The Constitution of India provides for 3 sessions. No, there is no mention of how many sessions Parliament should convene in a year, whether 2 or 4. The only thing that has been mentioned clearly into the Constitution regarding the sessions, that there shall not be a gap of more than 6 months. That is the only thing it has been mentioned. So that condition can be fulfilled just by having 2 sessions, or you can have multiple sessions, more than 2 sessions you can have. So there is no mention that whether it should have 3 sessions, 4 sessions or 1 session. The only thing that is mentioned is that there shall not be a gap of more than 6 months between the 2 sessions. So that's why this statement is incorrect. It is asking about the correct, the directive word is correct. So this statement is, there is no minimum number of days that the Parliament is required to meet in a year. So that statement is in Constitution, it has not been mentioned what should be the length of the session. And this point as well, while analyzing that how many days a particular session means, if you remember from the first Lok Sabha, and this data I had asked you guys to collect, that from the first session we had analyzed that until 17th session how many number of days that the Parliament has set. So first here the progressive number of days from first session to 17th session, right, progressively Parliament had lowered down its working day. Had it been mentioned that the Parliament have to work for 120 days in a year or 60 days, then this rule would not have been broken. So this point has not been mentioned, that in a session or in 3 session or 2 session or in a year how many number of days Parliament or Assembly has to set, right? So that point has not been mentioned. So there is no minimum. So this statement is also correct. So first statement is correct, third statement is correct. So first and 3. So the answer would be C. Again, this person marked it incorrectly. Lucky, unlucky chap, right? So C is the right answer. Let us go for the next. What about Rajya Sabha has equal powers with respect to the Lok Sabha? In which situation? The matter of creating new All India services? No. It has preference in matters of creation of this All India services. It does have preferential power, right? Rajya Sabha only can pass the resolution, and then Parliament can create this new All India services. This point as well we have covered into our polity lectures, into the public service, right? So that there we had pointed that Rajya Sabha does have this special power. So that point stands here. The power is not equal, rather Rajya Sabha has overriding power or the above power. Amending the Constitution. So yes, in amending the Constitution, it does have equal power. The keyword is equal, but hold it. We'll study these 2 statements as well. The removal of the government. No, in the removal of government, Rajya Sabha does not. It is only Lok Sabha which can pass this no confidence motion. Then making cut motion. No, in regards to money bill, under Article 110, Rajya Sabha does not have any power. It cannot move any kind of cut motion. So here Rajya Sabha power is subsidiary to the powers of the Lok Sabha. So again here this is incorrect, this is incorrect, this is incorrect. So B would be the answer of this particular question. Now let us move to the next question. So next question is regarding the MP-led. So this as well we did not cover. And why this question? This year this is inspired by your current event where Government of India during the lockdown or during the COVID had decided to do away with this MP-led. There was criticism on the part of government. Many of the writers criticized government for taking such step, but this question has been designed because of that stand of the government, and that's why we keep asking you कि आप current event पे थोड़ा सा अपना eye रखो. So here the only statement that would be incorrect, I had seen it, MP-led fund must be used to create durable assets like physical infrastructure for health, education. Yes, correct. Then a specified portion, yes, means 10%, or I do not exactly remember whether it is 7.5% or the 10% of the funds of the MP-led must be spent towards the welfare of these kind of people, that is SC community and ST community. So that is also correct. MP-led funds are sanctioned on the yearly basis, and the unused funds cannot be carried forward for the next year. So this statement is incorrect. It can be carried forward, and that's why you do have this March rush phenomena, and that's why for the MP-led fund the directive was given कि भाई आप जो है March rush से avoid करने के लिए 20% should be utilized in one quarter, the next 20% should be utilized. So that kind of pattern has been created by the government, and that pattern was created only. So this statement कि भाई it cannot be used or it cannot be carry forward worded, right? Third would be incorrect. Now if you do not know all the facts, if you could just eliminate this third, right, let us see कि क्या क्या कौन कौन सा ऑप्शन आपका चला जाएगा. So थर्ड का, और यहाँ इसने जिसने भी अटेम्प्ट किया है उसने यही अप्रोच लगाया है, थर्ड हटाया. Now 1 2 and 1 2 4, right? So 1 2 is correct. Just by knowing one statement that this statement is incorrect, you are able to eliminate these two. So 1 2 is common between these two. So the only information that you have to find now is whether fourth is correct or not. So fourth, the district authority must inspect at least 10. So this statement is also right, and that's why the answer would be D. Let us see whether answer, yes, answer is D. Next statement. Which one of the, and most easiest, which one of the following category of fundamental right incorporates protection against untouchability? It is talking about this article 17, and that is part of right to equality, right? So that was the one of the easiest. Here, what this guy has done, right to constitutional remedy? No, he cannot do. I don't know what he has done, but the answer here is B. Next. 30. In India, separation of judiciary. Now here I'll let you know. So in the community section as well, and in the Telegram section as well, I personally had designed this question, and here you do have this question, and here you do have mention of this article 50. Article, which of the following is not correctly matched? Article 44, you see Uniform Civil Code. Article 40, organization of panchayat. Article 36, definition of the state, and Article 50, protection of the cows. It was not the protection of the, so fourth statement was incorrect, and most of the people has marked fourth as incorrect, right? So not correctly matched. So most of you already had marked right answer, and this question I had published just 3 days ago, and this was published into the YouTube community section as well. So here it is talking about separation of judiciary and executive. So Article 50 that is incorrectly matched is this. Article 50 talks about this separation of judiciary, and Article 50 is part of what? Article 50 is part of DPSP. Article 36 to 51, right? So that is part of DPSP. So if you know that thing, right, you can easily mark that the separation of judiciary and executive has been envisioned in DPSP. That is B. Next. Constitutional government by definition. Here again, your spirit, the spirit with which you have studied this Indian polity, only then you can mark this kind of questions correctly, otherwise you cannot mark. Otherwise many of people I have seen, right, of around 10 or 12 people today I talked, and they have marked B as an answer. Popular government. A constitutional government by definition is popular, just because they are elected, just because they have a majority, that's why they are called popular government as well, and many people have mark this wrong statement, that is a constitutional government by definition. Just because this word has been mentioned, right, the answer would be limited, because all the time our constitution, what kind of role that our constitution has envisioned for legislature, executive and judiciary, it talks about checks and balances. Although they do work independently, but there is enough amount of checks and balances. Legislature keeps checking power of the executive, then executive tries to keep exerting its power on the legislature, because executive does have majority. That's why there is no complete control or absolute control of one entity over the other, and similarly you have judiciary that keeps exerting its power. So it's all about the checks and balances, and the government in this kind of system may function only into the limited government. Government cannot be absolute. If the government starts becoming absolute, legislatures does have power that it can remove. Then you have, if the government starts exerting its power in a undue manner, then you have this judiciary that it can strike down any of the arbitrary law that it may, this government on the account of majority, that government may pass, judiciary may. So government in our parliamentary system, or the constitutional government by definition, is limited government. I hope you will have that clarity. Then you have this, what is this? So other than fundamental, so it is talking about Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Now here even I need to little dive deeper. From my assessment, fundamental duties, of course you can eliminate. So wherever you have these three, you can eliminate. It may be either A as well and B as well. So here I am not giving you exact answer. The answer of these two can be A as well and the B as well, right? So this was the last question, and these many quality questions that had been asked, and a few questions I will again point out, these kind of questions you could not do. This was the factual question, right? If you knew this Article 50, you could attempt. If you did not know, you could not. But these kind of questions that you will see, this was more of a spirited. If you understand the spirit of that particular subject, that is Indian polity in this case, then you would be able to respond. Otherwise, you cannot respond. There is no way that you can respond these kind of questions. This is this kind of question, again, this is factual. If you have information, you can. This kind of information, this is also factual. If you know, then no, otherwise no. So this was all about the polity, right? Other parts as well, if you want, right? I can analyze, but again, means in other parts, I will not have that level of expertise, right? So I just have analyzed polity questions itself. You can let me know into the Telegram section how your paper was.